Welcome to the Continuum Podcast. I'm your host, Mystic Viper X, and today we're playing DayZ. If you don't know what DayZ is, Google it. Figure it out. This video is specifically designed to teach new players and old players how to repair the H1 Huey that you can find out and about into the world of Chernobyls? I can't say it right. I can never say anything right. You should hear me when I'm trying to pronounce some of these cities over voice comms. Anyway, this is on a server. You can't find this anywhere. I'm not playing on anyone's server. I am playing single player, which I will leave notes in the show notes to where you can download the single player mission that allows you to play the DayZ modded file by yourself, all alone. It will also allow you to spawn in all the weapons, items, vehicles in the game and play with them. The developer of the single player mod specifically designed it for training yourself and learning how to play the game. I'm today going to use it to show you how to build the Huey and how hopefully to fly it. We're going to start off out here. We are just east of Electro, and we are at a gas station, fuel station. Mostly because I want this little fuel tank, so I don't have to run back and forth to a gas station on the other side of the map just to get fuel for the Huey, which currently takes 30 jerry cans full of fuel to fill up. Which we don't need to do, but I'm going to anyway. First off, I'm going to show you an interesting thing, how to spawn in an item in the game. This doesn't work in multiplayer, this only works with this special modded file. You type in 0 to bring open the menu, 0 again to choose radio, and 7 to spawn objects. And this wonderful little menu pops up. You can't use it just yet, you gotta wait for it to load. Once it's loaded, you can put down the drop down, choose whatever you want to. Some of the items are in the weapons, and some of the weapons are in the objects. It's very interesting. In the mod, you cannot spawn in a helicopter working and just get into it and fly off. When you spawn it in, it looks fixed and then it breaks. And this is what you're looking for, I'm guessing. I've never seen one in the real world. The server I currently play on has them disabled. And actually I don't really know how to find them, honestly. My main interest was if I found one, I wanted to know what to do with it. If you're going to play by yourself in multiplayer and shoot everybody you come across, you're not probably going to be able to fix this and fly this, because it takes a lot of items, a lot of work, and a lot of effort just to get this thing fixed and running. On top of the fact that it's quite useless just to have it as a vehicle, because it consumes a lot of fuel, and you can't just hover over a pack of zombies and shoot them. You actually have to physically have somebody else with you, or to land it and do stuff. So this is one of those group effort thingies, and let's get started. First off, we're gonna need the parts specific to the helicopter. So we're gonna have 007. Wait for the menu to load. And first thing we need is the main rotor assembly. And spawn it in. Voila. Looks like this. You'll find it out in the world at what I'm guessing is factory and machine shops and stuff like that. You might see this. I've seen this even on my server that doesn't have weapon spawning. I've come across it. Pick up the main rotary assembly. It takes up quite a bit of your inventory space. Ignore the glass in there. It's some wild and crazy stuff. I rebuilt the the red car over there to get here out in the middle of the highway. It's much easier to build a car and go to a gas station that has a good place for the Huey than where I was. So we approach the Huey. You look at the rotor assembly, and it ignores you. Awesome. So I'm going to jump in as the crew chief. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. Sorry. Get in as ride and back, which actually puts you right next to the pilot for some odd reason. And that didn't work either. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're off to a wonderful start, aren't we? There we go. Repair main rotary assembly. Okay, so my initial problems were as such. You stand right here and wait for the menu to update, and voila. Interesting fact, in single player, I don't need a toolkit to do any of this, and I'm not carrying one right now. I'm hoping in multiplayer you actually physically need the toolkit to do any of these repairs, but in single player it's not requesting that I use one. I'm going to get rid of the glass in my inventory. We're going to keep a running count of what we need, but I have 3 pieces of glass in my inventory, so I'm going to go ahead and use them now. And we're going to pick up 3 more pieces. I believe it's 6 pieces in total, but I could be wrong and it can only be 5. When you repair the glass, it says repair glass in green from red, and I might have accidentally used another one on top of that green one to see if it made any difference. So we are standing by the door and we are futzing with the helicopter, which is an interesting way of dealing with it. I kind of like to just look at this little circle and play with it, and then open up my menu. So we've installed the rotor and 3 sheets of glass. Let's go ahead and install the engine. Wait for the menu to load again. Go down to the engine. Engine parts. Spawn the engine in. And go ahead and pick up the engine parts. Now, come back over here. And we repair the engine. Without tools. I have very strong fingers. We're going to go back over here. And we're going to spawn in more items. And we're gonna fix the avionics, the instruments, and the hull damage. So what we need to do that is 4 pieces of scrap, which is right here. You hit the spawn button. You can't just spam this button. You gotta wait it for a second. I hit it 4 times, but I only saw 3 things show up. You might have to do this one more time. Ah, there it is. It's in the grass. Should never spawn things in grass, but you know what? I'm not supposed to be spawning things anyway, because, yeah, it's just cheating. But it's what I do. So I think I'm close enough. There we go. So you get repair hit hull, repair hit avionics, repair hit rotor, and repair hit missiles. Go ahead and just click on one of them. And again, fixing it without tools, like a weirdo. And we're going to do it again. The avionics. rotor. And with the missiles. Now, if I'm correct, there's certain parts you don't have to repair to get this thing flying. You don't have to repair the hull. It'll fly with hull damage, and you don't have to repair the windows. It'll fly with window damage. I like to do it just because I'm weird, and because if you are going to fly this, if you repair all the damage to the aircraft, it makes it harder for you to be sniped out of the air, like a sniper sitting on top of a rooftop, sniping a pilot out of the helicopter, causing the entire crew to die because the pilot was killed from a headshot. And yes, that has happened, and there are videos on YouTube, which you perhaps may go search for after this, just to get a good laugh. So we're going to summon 3 more windscreen glass. 2, 3. We're going to go over here and take the windscreen. Take the windscreen. And take it again. And we're going to go back over here. Now you'll notice this windscreen's broken. This windscreen isn't. This is from the 3 pieces of windscreen that I've already installed. It slowly wraps them around the car or helicopter. And the ones we have left are this panel is included with the door panel, and the other door panel, and then the pilot door panel. So, repair glass. Repair glass. And repair glass. So it did end up being 6 pieces of glass. Love having paranoid math. So we're gonna open up an inventory. I'm gonna toss 2 things into my bag. Well, I'm gonna toss 1 thing. And we're gonna hit spawn key. We're gonna spawn in. Oh, waiting for the list to load. Some more jerry cans, just to get this done quicker. 1, 2, 3. And the maximum you can hold is 4 if you're not holding anything else in your primary inventory. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. This is a jerry can. It's used for transporting fuel around. It is my personal opinion that you only find these full in-game if you find these in-game. I've never found one empty, although I don't normally pick them all up. We had an interesting discussion with the people I play with on their server as to as the jerry cans being full or not. To let you know, the jerry cans act just like the water bottles. If it's full, it doesn't have this little red X on it. If it isn't full, it does. And you can't fill up at the pumps. Those pumps are very misleading. You can only fill up at these tanks. Which, walk up to it, you hit fill jerry can, and it fills the one that I had left in my inventory up. And then we run back over to the helicopter. We scroll down and we hit refuel the helicopter. Now, an interesting note, you have to do it for every can you have in your inventory. You have to just go through the motions 4 times if you're carrying 4 cans. Which can become very tedious at times. I'm curious what would happen if you had 4 or 5 guys helping to fill this thing up. The logistics behind having your own Huey and getting it going is quite phenomenal. Just the sheer amount of things that have to be done. You could get away with not filling the helicopter all the way and then flying it to the fuel tank, so you're much quicker at filling it up. But it's an interesting logistics problem, and I'm curious to see how the group I play with will tackle it. Now we come back to the fuel tank. Now we had to put the fuel into the helicopter one at a time. But if you come back to the fuel tank, it'll fill all 4 of them up all at once, which is nice. The wiki did at one point say it was 50 cans of fuel to fill this thing up. It has since gone down to 30, and I am too lazy to build one of these and count, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the 30 estimate. 30 cans of fuel to fill this up. When you have filled it up, you will know by by it not accepting more fuel into the fuel tank. The refuel option will no longer show up when you're full on gas or fuel or whatever. I do this. See if I have any more fuel. I think you guys are probably really annoyed with the camera bobbing. But you know what? I'm too lazy to hit the enter key. We're going to go ahead and get in the pilot seat. And I'm going to point out some interesting things going on inside here. If you notice in the top right, no, I'm sorry, top left corner, there's whole engine, ATRQ, MROT, and INST. Those are your indicators of what parts are broken on your ship, or on the helicopter. If your avionics, your motor, or your instruments, or your engine are broken, it just won't do anything. It won't even start up. I'm not 100% sure on the hull, but I think you can get away with not having the hull fixed, and it'll take off and fly. You're just flying around in a paper mache helicopter, because the starting pistol could probably take you out. Next to these, to the left of them, is your fuel status. Now for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to fill this helicopter all the way up, which took me about 30 minutes last time I tried it. Mostly because I was slow. But we're going to go ahead and start it with just what we have right now. Now the basic flight controls, Q and Z are your up throttle and down throttle, Q being up and Z being down. W and S are your pitch forward and back, W being forward and S being back. A and D is your pitch left and right, A being left and D being right. And X and C are your rotor buttons for twisting or rotating the helicopter left and right. I believe X rotates you right and C rotates you left, because the way the cyclic or the tail rotor works. Not 100% sure. I don't pay attention to it much. There is auto hover. With auto hover turned on, when you let go of the controls, the helicopter will bring itself to a stop. Which, if you turn it on while moving forward at a high clip, you will see the helicopter bank hard, bring itself to a stop, which it'll clear half a kilometer doing so, and then sit there and hover. And it unlocks the rotor controls and allows you to rotate the helicopter clockwise or counterclockwise, or left or right. To start the helicopter, we're going to hit the Q button, and you'll see the rotor start up. I'm a huge fan of the DCS Black Shark video game series, and I find the startup procedure on this helicopter versus the DCS Black Shark startup procedure to be woefully inadequate. If you ever have a free moment of time, Google DCS Black Shark startup procedures and be in awe of the hour-long videos showing how to start this hyper-realistic helicopter known as the Ka-50 Russian attack helicopter. The rotors have spun up. We're going to give it a little bit more power. And we're off the ground. Okay, now your mouse does control helicopter movements. Mine's set for forward pitches me back, and pulling back on the mouse pitches me forward. And then auto hover is turned on currently. So clicking auto hover off. Oh, wait. No, she's just being weird. Never mind. Ah. So, when flying the helicopter, never ever hold down any of the directional keys, except for, if you wish, the cyclic up key or the Q key to give you a greater amount of lift. As for holding down the keys can cause you to pitch wildly in one direction or another, which would be really, really, really bad. To make any form of movements while in the helicopter, I would suggest simple taps. There's also the strong suggestion of binding your auto hover key to a key on your keyboard instead of bringing up the menu and hitting auto hover. As we can see, we're banking to slow down, and then we sit here. Turn around again. And we're going to turn auto hover off, and we're going to go back down the coast. I have to wait where we came from whence we've come, as I don't have very much fuel and I would rather get this video over. The flight controls, if you're into flight sims of any form or fashion, the flight controls are not very realistic, I guess is the word. And that's not saying they're bad. It's just, yeah. Okay, we can see the gas station right there. So I'm approaching it. Go ahead and turn auto hover on to bring me to a stop just over that road. I'm gonna look around. Go ahead and go on third person view. Take a look. Go ahead and park myself. Finessing this in a combat situation, we'd totally be dead right about now. Holding still in this game with anybody with any kind of high-powered weaponry would get you killed. I'm going to go ahead and press the Z key. I'm holding down the Z key and releasing it slowly and tapping it to bring us down in a nice, slow, gentle check to make sure I'm not going to hit anything. Yeah, we're good. Come down and go ahead and turn the engine off. And watch as the rotor blades slowly spin down. And that is how you fly and repair the Huey H1 helicopter in the Arma II DayZ mod. So yeah, Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go on a limb here and just say I made this video solely for the fact that no one had any clear explanation, and I just really was lacking that, and I really wanted to know how to do it. I find coming as close to the helicopter as you can and staring at the window and whatever repair state it's in, and opening up your menu gives you all the options you need. And the only tips I can give you when flying this thing is do not hold down any of the directional keys, W, S, A, D, because the act of doing so will cause you to pitch radically and wildly, and it is almost irrecoverable in doing so. You can control it via the mouse, but it's also just as wild and crazy. At least with my sensitivity, it's out of control. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys around. Ooh, headshot.